Sounds Tampa Bay.
What is up, YouTube? Hopefully you guys are doing great. On today's video, it is time to get to the Howl 2017 review. No, let's do that again. The Howl 2017 review. So I'm going to break this down into haunted houses, scare zones, overall aesthetics of Howl 2017, value, and then finally like a rating or review or final overall review on the event. So first up, we're going to be talking about the haunted houses. Now the haunted houses for this year, we have Unearthed being back again, we have Motel Hell, we have the new haunted house Undead Arena Live, we have the Black Spot, we have Demented Dimensions, which is a brand new house, and we have Deathwater Bayou and Zombie Containment Unit 15 moving targets. Damn, that's such a long name. So in the order we did as far as what we did is how I'm going to do the houses. First up, we did Zombie Containment Unit 15. Now this house pretty much didn't change as far as what I experienced 2 years ago. There's not much to say about Zombie Containment Unit. If you can really get in and do it for like less than, I think, 20-25 minutes, it's the perfect house. Then we went over to Deathwater Bayou. Now I love this house. I love it, love it, love it. There's some stuff and how that worked out for every house for us. I'll get to that a little later. It'll make sense, trust me. But Deathwater Bayou, great house, just the same, I think, as I always remember it. It's just very scary at times. The bungee scare, that's all I'm gonna say, bungee scare. I'm probably gonna say that a lot in this review. Yeah, next we did Demented Dimensions, and wow, oh wow, this house. Another winner for Howl and the team there. This house kind of deals with that you're going through this mansion and you're going through sort of like a portal of some sort, and you're going in and out of these dimensions, and it's really cool how they do the effects in the house. There was some great scares in this house, a lot of like little scares where you're like, whoa, I did not think that was going to be a scare. Next we did Motel Hell. It was my first time visiting this house, even though I think this is its second year at the event. Great house. You can see how they really spent the money in this. The facade is really cool. It really gives you that kind of cheap, sleazy motel kind of vibe. All the stuff inside is very good. Some of the scares are very good. Spot on Howl. Very spot on. Then we did Undead Arena Live because it is a brand new house and is also located very close to Motel Hell. Interesting house to say. How it handles, I'm not sure if it's a different experience for others. You'll have to check out other people's reviews. We kind of did a pre-screen on some of the reviews, and a lot of people were stating this house was not good, it was terrible. We ended up waiting maybe less than 20 minutes and we got right into the house. It really was probably less than 20 minutes. But we had overall a great experience with this house. It's supposedly like you choose your own path, or the monsters and demons kind of force you a certain way. The only knock I'll say about it is you can tell that a lot of the stuff from this house is reused, or reused characters that you see around the park or in other haunted houses at this event. There was nothing really stand out or creative as far as the characters in the house. On the opposite side of that, some of the actors and stuff in this house, they were aggressive, they went for the scares. There were some kind of neat rooms in here. The body room, I'm not gonna like spoil it, but the body room was cool. So it was just us three for, I'd say, like 80% of the house. Just us three going through. So it was kind of a unique experience that you don't ever get that at, you know, Halloween Horror Nights or any other type of these large-scale haunted events. It's a neat concept, and I'd like to see it improve, especially for future years. The Black Spot, I enjoyed it. I know some people out there hate it and it catches a lot of flack. It's an alright house. I mean, I don't think it's the standout at Howl, but it's an okay house. I think it's like right in the middle as far as like the list of the 7 houses. I think it's right there in the middle. Dead last into the night, like right before the event closed. It ended up being just us 3 in the haunted house again, alone. So that experience was rather cool to go through it by ourselves. Next, we are going to hop on to the scare zones. Now, if you do not know, at Howl, they do scare zones different. They don't have a parade. So they can do elaborate scare zones or areas that they build out to be full-blown scare zones. So the roaming hordes can appear anywhere in the park. You see them multiple times throughout the night, but they always are changing locations. You never really see the same like roaming horde, but if you do, they're usually in a different spot. I'm not sure how they do it as far as backstage and how they handle that, but that is really, really cool. I wish Horror Nights sort of did something like that. Class Deceased was really, really cool. It's sort of like this classroom aspect that's outside and like an old school, it's hard to describe. It's like an old school class. It's got like a lot of like fire effects and stuff. Playground was kind of like this weird aspect of like glow in the dark kind of UV light kind of zone. A lot of the stuff and a lot of the actors were kind of like lit up in a way, I guess because of UV light. So it was kind of creepy. They had a lot of like playground stuff in the bushes, which was kind of cool. All the characters kind of play into their roles. They can talk and stuff. That's one thing to note. At Howl, all the creatures and things, they interact. They can talk. They can do all sorts of stuff with you. And then up next, we have probably one of my favorite zones they did. It's called Wasteland. Now, Wasteland, as you're seeing in the video, it's really cool apocalyptic zone. Like as soon as you hit it, it's really, really cool facade. It's weird to say a zone has a facade, but it does. It looks really, really good. Some of the actors in there, I love like the apocalyptic stuff they're wearing. One of the actors does like this whistling thing, which was really, really cool, where he kind of like blows this air on your neck. Up next, we have Carney Camp, which I just called the Circus Zone. Wow, oh wow, this zone was not filled with a lot of props, but it was really, really cool. There is a bungee scare in the zone. Number 2, bungee. The bungee scare was really, really good. It got us the first time. It got pretty much everybody that we stopped and watched. Next, we have Meat Market, which was clearly like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Leatherface type of zone. All the characters almost looked like they were just clones of Leatherface. Not that that's bad, but it's a weird zone because they had a lot of like photo ops and just weird stuff in that zone. It didn't feel like a zone. And I guess they sold like food over there too, which was just kind of funny. Yeah, that was it as far as the scare zones. The roaming hordes, like I said, they're really good. They fill in all of the spots in between stuff, so that worked out pretty well. I guess I can talk about the show portions because there's only 2 shows this year. You have Fiends and you have Joshua Seth. What a name. Joshua Seth, Inside Your Mind. We didn't get to see Joshua Seth only because it was the busiest night ever. So we were really, really slammed as far as like trying to do all the houses that we could. And I'll get to that a little bit later as far as my advice for that. But we did check out Fiends. It was Stephanie's first time seeing the show. I saw the show when I went 2 years ago. April's seen it multiple times. So we knew already Fiends is like a running joke of Howl. Props to all of the dancers. Props to all the people in the show, behind the scenes. But the show is bad. I mean, it's notoriously like bad, but not bad in a bad horror movie is good type of way. It's not like that at all. Like as soon as we entered in, it was already full because it was in a new theater. If you do not know, Fiends is Used to be in the Dragon Fire Grill. That's where they've done the show previous years, but for this year they changed it and they put Joshua Seth show inside of there, and they moved it to this brand new arena location. Well, probably not brand new to the park, but brand new to Fiends, which, as you're watching in the video, it's a big theater. Like, it has a big stage so they can do like a permanent kind of setup. The difference is, from what we saw with the show, we got to see it on the left side. They didn't really care about the left and the right pretty much most of the show. All the dancing and all the like acting, everything was kind of centered. So if you sat on the sides, you get to like watch the show and hear it, but you're just not getting, I don't know, that full show interaction, which you would normally get with like Bill and Ted or some other shows where they know how to handle like the crowds being on the left and the right and center. So Howl is a very value essential event. Unlike Halloween Horror Nights, where they kind of give you multiple options, multiple things as far as like Express, the Scare Actor Dining, Unmasking the Horror Tour, it's just all expensive. And Howl does everything really within a great budget. I think it just meets that right criteria. You know, 7 haunted houses, you get the zones, you get it overall. If you're a coaster lover, you get to do all these great coasters in the dark, and really you can buy a ticket for any day for $40. I did the early screen ticket thing, which was like, I think like $35, so that's awesome as well. They also have a sampler lanyard that you can buy for $30, and it's going to get you get 5 or 10 samples of food, beer, shots, and wine. So that's really cool value. You also have like front of the line pass, which is their express pass. That's $35. It gets you into all of the haunted houses for at least one time. So there you go, $35. You also can upgrade your ticket for only $60 to come back every single night if you wanted to. If you wanted to buy like an unlimited ticket, it's only like $100 and something just to come every single night. You have VIP tours, you have the Fright Feast, which is what I'm going to get to. The Fright Feast is a must. This is first time I went to the event, we did Fright Feast. This time we didn't do it, and we were kicking ourselves for that because the Fright Feast would have helped us so much. So Fright Feast, if you do not know, you get into the park early. You get to do a dinner, unlimited buffet style from 6. I think it starts at 6. You go in there, you have a buffet style meal, you get to eat, watch the Joshua Seth show. Normally it would have been Fiends, which kind of sucks that they took that out for that. But you watch that show, and then you get out and you have unlimited express, I believe unlimited, for only an hour. So you can pretty much knock out a couple houses. It says select houses. I'm not too sure about like which houses. You would have to ask, you know, the people that work there when you go, if you're planning on going. As far as like which houses you can use it on. Like I said, we did Zombie Containment Unit, and not too many people were coming in to go to that house. But that is kind of cool because you get to go into the house before all the regular guests, the broke people like us. You get to go into the house first, so you kind of get your own experience if you choose the right house that's not everybody going to. So that's really kind of cool. I highly recommend it. It is, I believe, $35. So, you know, tack that on with the price of the ticket, and it's not too expensive, so you can really enjoy some of the cons of the event. And this is where we're going to get to the meat and greet. So cons of the event. We lined up quite early for Zombie Containment Unit because we believed that that was the house to knock out, because later on it gets long lines. The thing is, we did not know anything about the event as far as, and maybe that was on us not to do extensive homework. Nowhere on this map is it listed when the event opens. It doesn't say it opens at 7:30. That is another knock as well. The event ran from 7:30 to 1. Not good hours, I don't think, for it being busy and a Saturday. It should have been open earlier and longer. It should have been 6:30 to 2, just like Horror Nights, or 6 o'clock, or one of those two, I think would have helped overall better the experience that we had. We only got all the houses done besides Unearthed because we were very, very lucky. No time is listed. We asked like 3 to 4 different workers and we all got different answers as far as like, oh, the house opens at 7:30 or the event starts at 6:30. Like, we just kept getting different answers, so that was not a great experience. There's this whole thing, they have a actual app that you can use, but the app is horrible. It only tells you some of the wait times for the houses. It won't tell you the other ones. And it's also not known around the park how long the wait times are. There's no like electronic stuff so you can see how long the line is. You just walk up to the entrance, you peek to see how long the line is. You usually ask the people in the front. They usually will tell you how long the lines are, but that, you know, that could just be an estimate or a guess. It's not going to be an accurate description of like, oh, it's exactly about 15 minutes. It could be more than 15 minutes. So I asked April as well, what were some of her thoughts if she wanted to add anything into the review. So she stated, pulsing is cool, but maybe not as much when the lines are long. All throughout the night, we kind of experienced most of the lines being like an hour, hour and 30, hour and 40 minutes. And they were constantly pulsing every single time, which maybe I can make another video about pulsing and if it's good or bad, or if you like it, or how much would you pay for it. It was a cool experience for us because it worked in our favor every single time, where they pulsed it just right, where I was typically the last, like in our lineup, it went April, Steph, and then me. There was no one behind us in every single haunted house for a little while. Like, good portion of the house, I kept looking back and there was no one in like behind us, which freaked me out even more. So pulsing can be really cool. It can work in certain ways, but if the lines are long, it's just going to make them even longer. So it's you know, it's a catch-22 on that one. And another knock I had was about the zombie containment unit, which they opened up the line and we got to the front of the entrance. Shout out to the worker who was in the front. She kept us entertained. She was talking to us for like a good 15-20 minutes. But we went into the house and we still had to wait for probably like 20-25 minutes until all of the park was open at 7:30. Now this hallway they put us in was very, very hot. Like, I'm standing there like sweating on my arms because there's no air in this hallway and it is hot, even though there's no sun, like we're inside, but still it is hot in this hallway, and we stood there for like 20-25 minutes. So I'd much rather if we waited outside and then they brought us in maybe for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It was kind of torture for us because we stood there watching all the Fright Feast people go in every so often while we just stood there waiting and sweating. But shout out to one of the drill sergeant workers, I don't know what they call themselves. He kept us entertained as well. He would kind of come every so often and do like these TV shows singing like things where he would sing like Scooby-Doo or Brady Bunch, and we would all like have to recite the words right after him. So shout out to him. He was very entertaining for us sweating in that hallway. So Hollow Scream, it's a great event. It is a value event, but don't let that knock it down. Some of the houses are on point. They are very, very fun. They're exciting. They are scary at some points. And some of the scares that work inside the haunted houses are crazy. Like stuff that you wouldn't see them try to do at Halloween Horror Nights. The bungee scares are on point. There are some scares that you don't even see. Like, I didn't see that coming. Like, there's scares above you. A lot of scares are above you. There's scares like behind stuff that you didn't figure that would be a scare. So they do really good with the scares. The only con to that is a lot of the scares are very loud. They're banging on stuff, so it can get a little annoying, or like, you know, if you're one of those people that don't enjoy like, you know, slamming on doors and barrels and stuff like that, like loud noises like that, it can be a little annoying throughout the house, or, you know, throughout the event, that because you're going to hear that in the zones, you're going to hear that in the houses. And also the music choices that they did at Howl was very on point. It was just kind of like Skrillex and techno music, but I felt it fit the event so well throughout the park that you kind of felt like this energy, this high energy. You felt it wasn't like, you know, the same crap that you hear at Halloween Horror Nights, and you're just like, not this song again, the Simeon Angel song. Like, how many times do you hear that throughout the park this year? You hear it like at the front gates, you hear it in the different zones. And I felt like the techno music worked pretty well when there wasn't a scare zone. All the scare zones had their own kind of like playlists and music and stuff, but everywhere else there was techno playing. It just kind of had this different vibe to the event that you don't find at Halloween Horror Nights. If you have any questions about Howl, you want to know any stuff, leave it down in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about the event. If you've been, are you going? You know, maybe are you looking to go next year? And while you're at it, leave this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ZombieCT. There should be a thing popping up right here or over here or somewhere, wherever it pops up. Yeah, that is it for Howl 2017. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. I just wanted to crank this thing out there before I sort of slip back into the memory loss of this event. Other than that, nothing else. Zombie Chris is out.